Canadian activist has been attacked on the streets of Montreal while demonstrating against giving puberty blockers to children with supposed gender identity issues. Chris Elston filmed the attack on his phone. The footage shows several people approaching him, demanding he leave the area and calling him a transphobe. Mr. Elston was left with a broken arm after one of the attackers repeatedly hit him with a traffic cone. Chris Elston told us about the incident.
Go, Chris. Go. I just go out on the street and I have conversations with people about these puberty-blocking drugs because the media refuse to report on what's going on. Out of nowhere from the road, and I think from my left on the sidewalk, about, I don't know how many people, 5, 6, 7 people, one woman, the rest were men. They were just on me. I only had about 1 second notice. They ripped the signs off me because I wear these signs. One sign says children cannot consent to puberty blockers. And so as we were retreating away, a man picked up a really large traffic cone. I wasn't too worried about it because it's just a traffic cone, but it probably weighs about 10 pounds, and it's one of the big ones with a heavy base. So he repeatedly tried to hit me with it. It seems to me like 100% it's a premeditated attack. They knew I was there and they came to get me.
Well, puberty blockers are used for children with gender identity issues. The drugs stop the onset of puberty by blocking certain hormones, but the effect only lasts while the child takes them. But there are still concerns about the lasting impact puberty blockers have on minors. Here's Chris Elston again.
If a child goes on puberty-blocking drugs from the age of 12 to 17, and then they come off them, there's no magic time machine that gets those 5 years back. Those years of development are gone. And studies all show that the endocrine system doesn't even kick right into gear as soon as you come off them. It takes time for the body to adjust and get going again. So what's happening is we have all sorts of young adults now in their 20s who are detransitioning, and Canada is going 100 miles an hour in the wrong direction because we have political people using this as a wedge issue to achieve their political aims. So they try to say that if we don't want to give kids puberty-blocking drugs, that somehow we're against the LGBT community. But this has nothing to do with that. There's no thinking involved in this. They just, oh, you want to be the other gender? Okay, here you go. We're going to stop puberty in you.
All right, Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Makakadash, double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, salutation to all the brothers and the few sisters that's out there, all to the Israelite foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. It's a quick show through the spirit of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, and one of your brothers be edified. As you can see, you have somebody that's standing up for the wickedness of today and how the world treats them. Anybody that's stands up against this wicked, evil empire, the world will lash out at you. Because of why? Because this world is full of darkness, man. These people in the world are in total darkness. All right? They evil as all hell. And we're in a time period where more wickedness is coming out daily. Damn near, I didn't watch the news about 3 hours or so. I guarantee after I do this show, if I look up something more wicked is gonna pop up. But this is that time. This is that season. Yes, righteousness is finally making its presence felt more, spreading worldwide to the point where it can't be stopped. Simultaneously, wickedness is at an all-time high. All right, at an all-time high, and people they can't tell the difference, which tells this is why Yahweh Bashem Yahushua has to destroy America. He has to destroy Esau out of his power, all right, out of his whole entire system, because this man represents evil, all right. But that spirit that dwelleth in this man, matter of fact, let me get that real quick. Habakkuk 2:4 says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith." So the soul that was put upon this man, this vessel, all right, these pink people, is not upright in him. It wasn't meant to be righteous. It wasn't meant to be saved. This man is the persona of death incarnated. Something like that does not factor in when it comes to life, all right? He is anti-life. We're life. He's anti-life. Everything about him is synthetic. It's not real. All right. So when people actually stand up and say, this is wicked, what do the world do? They turn around and blast them, man. That's how you know we are at the end, when wickedness can be literally broadcast throughout the whole world and everybody defend it, so to speak. Everybody goes out their way in order for them to combat. All right, this world has to go, man. It has to go. But I'm gonna get a couple more quick scriptures. Isaiah, because that's why when I noticed, man, here this guy's telling about how pubic blockers affect children, and yet, of course, obviously, a lot of things is fabricated in the sense of when somebody does stand up, somebody's with the camera, and you have a lot of agents that's out there to cause a ruckus, to make a difference, but wickedness is at an all-time high. Isaiah 5:20 says, "Woe unto them that call evil good, and good evil." And what's wrong with telling people the truth? That you ruin children, you're ruining these people's lives by telling them something that is not correct, by allowing them to live in this fairy tale world that you created. You allow them to have this ungodly world. And when somebody tells the world, like, look, this is reality, and now that person's evil, all right? And we've been saying certain things, man, saying things that people are not comfortable with. And what is the result of that? We get shunned. We get looked upon down, all right? And now everybody catching up. People's channels getting cut off left and right and left. And they think because they say some truth, but we have the 100% truth. We go out there and tell the truth. These people gives a fraction of the truth, and yet they get shunned. This is an all-out war, man. It says, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter." So everything in this world is technically it's out of course. All right? What is good in this world is truly wicked, man. This world is truly wicked in all form of fashionable sense, man. All right? It says, "Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight." All right? So the world is in total darkness, man. I believe it's St. John's 1, and I'm going to go to the point. St. John's 1, and let's start 4. "In him was life, and life was the light of men." And who was light, the light of men? Yahushua. The scriptures, man. This is the beacon of light right here. It says, "The light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended not." There was a man sent from the Most High, whose name was John. John the Baptist is talking about. The same came from a witness, and to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. So John the Baptist was the herald of Yahushua. So he was not the light, but he was sent to bear witness of the light. That was the true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. And he was in the world, and the world was not made by he was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. He came into his own, and received it, and his own received him not. But as many as receive him, to them gave he power to become the sons of the Most High, even to them that believe on his name. All right, let me jump down. I want this point I wanted to get. I'm sorry, this is probably the 3rd chapter. St. John's 3. Let me see. So I should get to the point. All right. St. John's 3:19, and this is the condemnation, that the light has come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. So these people's deeds, their whole persona, their whole aura is evil. So this is why the world can relate, Slakia. This is why the world can relate. This is why the world co-sign a lot of things. 2 Ezra 14, I believe it's Slakia 17. For look how much the world be weakered through age, so much more shall evils increase upon them that dwell in the earth. That dwell therein, sorry. All right? And it has become weaker in age. As the years, the centuries go by, the years go by, the months, the days go by, it gets weaker and weaker. And when something is weak, anything goes. All right? Like that, did the show before. When you look up the word folly, the true definition means, English etymology, weak mind, mentally weak, all right, or mental weakness. So in order to get to a stage to the point of retardation, all right, re meaning back, and tar, if I'm not mistaken, back from something. This world had to go through a weak stage, man. These people don't have a clue what's right from right and what's wrong from wrong. They don't have a clue, and their leaders and the people they look up to is not teaching them the right way. Okay? So this is why America, Babylon the Great, needs to be destroyed, needs to be demolished. Okay? Because it brings nothing but wickedness. Revelations 11:18. It says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that it shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets. And that judgment is coming. And the wrath, when the nations realize all the wickedness that they conducted, is the wrath of the Heavenly Father upon them. For every action is a reaction. Every foul stench, or every foul act, there's equally or more to come. But what happens when you see nothing but wickedness and nothing happens? The people continuously do that which they continuously do. It says, read it on. It says, and the saints and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroyeth the earth. Who destroyeth the earth? Earth is given to the who? The hand of the wicked. Who's the wicked? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right? And by their rules, this world has even gotten to a worse case. Everything that was once before, it was in darkness. Then the things that was in darkness now being manifested to the world. Show you the power that the Lord gave unto this man. All right? To bring utter darkness into the world. I quoted something. Let me get this real quick. Ecclesiastes 8, I believe it's 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. So now, under Obama, 2008, he reigned as president. I believe he allowed homosexuals to get married in his second term, if I'm not mistaken, or the first term. And what did I do? That opened the Pandora's box to everything. From one wickedness to another wickedness, and so forth, to the point of, you have Ukraine. I did a show on it. An 8-year-old girl gets into a relationship with a 13-year-old boy to make it public, and this 8-year-old girl, it so happens to be a model in the internet, which all that's leading, and people's gonna cry about it, and all they're gonna say is that, well, if that's the case, then the age of consent. So everybody's seeing all this wickedness is taking place. All right, nothing wrong is happening. But when something does happen, they mark the judgment as that it should never happen. Okay? This place is wicked, man. It says, therefore the hearts of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. And that's why we live in. We live in a time of evil. And if we break down the word evil, Eve meaning time, ill meaning bad, we've been in an evil time for a long period of time. You wonder why people getting killed? Why children is getting shot? Why people you consider to be innocent is dropping dead? Because we living in a time. The stage is set. The leaders set this thing in motion. All right. The brother had a beautiful dream about his woman had a dream that there was like a shadow of death that was surrounding everything. And this is why you think the shadow of death is there. The shadow of death is there to do what? To balance the wickedness out. So these people are set in their mind to continuously do wickedness, because nobody's holding them accountable for the wickedness that they do. That they do in the world. So now the repercussions is coming. It says, though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Lord, fear the Most High, which fear him before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which as a shadow, because he feareth not before the Most High. And this is the reaction of everything. And this is what the Lord is going to do. I'm going to end it off on this. Job. I'm going to the point. Job 28 says, 26. All darkness shall be hid in his secret places, and a fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. The heaven shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a great power shifting, a violent act that's being taken place. All right. It says, the increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. This is the portion of the wicked man from the Most High, and the heritage appointed unto him by the Most High. So what's the heritage of those that do wicked or promote wickedness? Death, destruction. All right. The Lord is going to rain missiles upon this godforsaken place, and that's the wrath of the Lord for all the wickedness that this place promotes. They targeting the children, and where are the righteous people? Okay. Matter of fact, there's one more scripture. Psalms 94. I believe we started 15, 16. Start at 14. Psalms 94 and 14. For the Lord would not cast off his people, neither will he forsake his heritage. It's talking about who? Israel, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But judgment shall return unto the righteousness, and all the upright in heart shall follow it. Who shall rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand for me against the workers of iniquity? And that's the question. Who's going to rise up to combat this wicked vibration that's being pushed? The men of the Lord. All right. That's who. And that's been exposing this wickedness long ago. They're telling you what the things to come. All right. Unless the Lord have been my help, my soul had almost dwelt in silence. When I said, my feet slippeth, thy mercy, O Lord, have held me up. And the multitude of my thoughts within me, thy comforts delight my soul. And that's talking about us individuals, and we all go through this. There's no man in Israel that doesn't go through some type of wicked thoughts in his mind or slip-ups. But yet the Lord is with us. All right. That's our battle. That's our personal battle. All right. What it says, that is our condition of the battle. So it says, verse 20, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law? And that's why it was in Rand Paul asked that transformer about the pubic blockers, and the transformer couldn't answer the questions, basically saying that I'd rather talk to you in person. So he's like, well, you don't want to answer the question. So you want these children to mutilate themselves and tear themselves the rest of their life, and then once those pubic blockers, when they don't have nothing and their body changes, now you have a suicidal case of a child who's not supposed to be who they are. That's a mischief by law, man. That's wickedness. They gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous and condemn the innocent blood. But the Lord is my defense, and my God is the rock of my refuge. He shall bring upon them their own iniquity, and shall cut them off in their own wickedness. Yea, the Lord our power shall cut them off. So Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is going to destroy you God-forsaken Edomites, man. He's going to utterly wipe you out for all the wickedness that you put upon this world. So with that being said, I hope you brothers edify. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.